name is Koul. I'm from Delhi, and I studied in an all-boys school. That was fun. And, and throughout school, I absolutely had no idea what was happening. I'm telling you, like all the subjects from like class KG to 12th, it was nothing. Learn this, fine. Learn that, fine. Read this, okay. Read that, done. This is the right way to see things. This is wrong. This is right. Whatever it was. This is how you're a good person. This is how you're a bad person. And I always wondered, not always, maybe like when I was like conscious enough to wonder about the things that people were telling or being rebellious enough, I always wondered that if somebody can, if doing everything by the book can make you good or great or better at something, then how are there bad students or bad people, right? Like why are they not able to figure it out, let's say? And I've never been so lost in my life. But that confusion made me ask a question, which still continues to bother me today. So I'm going to just start with a little story so that it makes a little bit more sense. I had a friend in school, Rahul Bhatia. And I'm taking his name because he should know if he's seeing it, that he inspired this. And he was a lot like me in the sense that, not in his personality or his nature, just his attitude towards school every day. He used to joke around, play sports, small pranks, and whatever that makes a kid fun in school, right? And also annoying to teachers. But he always aced his class, like always topped his class. And it was so bizarre because I did not see him being any more different than I was, but he was just doing something that I really wanted to do. So one day I went up to him and I actually asked him, "Hey Rahul," he's like, "What's up?" It was like, I asked him, "How do you get such good grades? Because you're always chilling, having fun. I don't see you studying in like class like some other people who they were at it and they were really putting their heart in it. And there you can understand that, okay, fine, this person's really making an effort and they're getting it." And when I asked him this, he said, "I just study, man. Like, just an hour on the weekend, 2 hours, Saturday, Sunday, and that's it." And that was an answer, but it wasn't an answer good enough for me because I was like, okay, like, I also do the same. I kept staring at his face, waiting for something more to come out. You study, that's what I do. Okay, I also study. But how do you study? Like, that was the next question. Like, how do you do it? He said, I just open the book and I just read, right? Just go through it. And that answer kind of just blew my mind. I did not continue the conversation with him because here I am trying to open the book and study, but I can't. Who does not want to get good grades? Who does not want to open a book and be like, I'm going to do this for an hour and I'm going to get good grades? Nobody sits there and be like, I'm going to go through it and not get good grades, right? So after that day, I realized that kids can be really smart and kids can be really stupid at the same time. But more importantly, literally no one speaks about the details of it, the truth of the questions that you ask them. Sometimes smart people make you think, smart people make you rethink, and then you question yourself. Am I the one who's stupid not to get this? Something as simple as go study held a world of complexities. Just ask someone how you do something, and you'll see that people very quickly start giving out methods, and also run out of methods to give you. Bottom line, stop living your life thinking anyone knows how to do it better than you. And just to continue on the example, if somebody does tell you, okay, I do this study, like I take 5 pages out and I put it like this and I do it like this, and they give it to you, it might not work for you. And even they don't know this. It works for them because it works for them. It's not the path that you need to take. No one can do it better than you. No one can fail better than you. No one can cry better than you. No one can love better than you. Only you know how to do everything in the best way possible for you. And I promise it's true. Like it might sound so philosophical, but it's absolutely true. And this doesn't mean that you don't take advice from people. You listen to everybody, but you do whatever feels right to you. If somebody tells you something and it sticks, and it's like, yes, I think I can work around this, go for it. If the biggest person in the room is telling you something and you're like, okay, I get it, it seems like it works, but I won't be able to kind of go around this pattern, fine, that's not for you. It's not that you won't be able to achieve the same thing. But then you ask me but then you can ask me, how would I know what works for me? And my only honest answer would be, no one but you would know. I could go into my college life, but that was the same as school. Still in that bubble of I'll try to figure it out, I'll try education out, I'll kill this game of life, ye karunga, wo karunga, this and that. But obviously this game of life has no rules. I got through college somehow, figuring out how to cook, clean, write essays with citations, which was the hardest thing because you never told how to write, proper articles and stuff. And it was a fine, good experience. And regardless of who you are and what you do, you know what your passions are, and you should secretly keep pursuing them. And in my case, my privilege let me choose the career I wanted to waste my time on, which was films and media, because there was an interest in some sort of performance arts, and obviously it comes with a certain likability, and it's nice to be liked. So for those two reasons, I finished college and left for Bombay. And here is where my life changed. And I say changed not in a way that, something big happened, but I started to figure out how things work. And caution, when I say how things work, not things outside, how the world outside works, but how I work, how I can figure out the best for myself. And there was no method. And when I went to Bombay, I just kept my head up high, let it flow. If it was smooth, if it was rough, could have been anything, I just let life happen to me. I was flourishing in Mumbai, but not really. I could have gotten used to the stability of working from set to set, freelance work, etc. But obviously, if I'm here on stage, there has to be some serendipitous moment. And that for me was my B12 going down. And it's not a big deal. It was just generally everyone has a low B12, vitamin D, and in Bombay it's more when you're working inside film sets for hours. And eating all those vada pavs for lunch. Also, health is really, really important. But what happens in freelance work is that it's a circle. People work with other people, right? And if someone is unavailable at a certain point, someone else takes their place. And the circle continues, right? It's not like you are dispensable at all points. So when I went back after a month of, whatever injections you get, 1 a week or something like that, I did not have any work. I kept calling people and they were like, oh, we already have somebody, it's okay, it's okay. And I did not want to restart. And I realized how dispensable I was. I was living month to month, so not having work to look forward to was a little scary. And this health issue also forced me back to Delhi. And about 2 months in, I got a message on Instagram from Santu Mishra that he thought one of my videos was funny. And it was just some random video that you post, nothing related to content. I wasn't creating back then. It was like if I felt like, oh, it's something funny or it's something nice to say, I used to just put it up. And he thought it was funny. And he said that he wants me to come and give an interview if I want to do that. For a job at IDEVA, for a production job at IDEVA. Men's Exhibit was with Times Internet Limited. And I was like, listen man, whoever you are, whatever you want from me, if you're going to give me some work, I'll come, I'll be fine, let's do it. And when I went for the interview, I get greeted by Ambika, she was the editor at IDEVA back then, and Santu Mishra, the legend he is. They asked me some random questions and I answered them honestly. They thought that I was some hotshot from Bombay, oh, you're working with these directors, oh, you're from Bombay, you must know your shit, right? But whatever they thought, I didn't know the job mattered to me. That's as long as I got the job, I was like, I'm going to just keep doing it. And while leaving, they also said that here's the team of IDEVA. It had a bunch of writers, and of course, in the corner was Kusha Kapila and Dolly Singh. And nobody knew that the gold that they were sitting on at that point. Long story short, I started working with them, and literally, these people there, the crowd decided to blow up. Kusha, Dolly decided to blow up through content, and everyone around them did as well. And since I was making videos for them, editing, writing, directing, whatever came, there was just a team of 4. Everybody was doing everything, right? And I learned the craft for myself, and I enjoyed it. And obviously, I was funny, so I continued it. And slowly and steadily, people start noticing you. If you give them something every day to look forward to, they do start noticing you. And you get that gratification and validation, and then you start the content journey. And obviously it did become popular. It seemed to be something that you can look forward to. And I also was working very closely with people who were the pioneers of making money off of content, like, how to get these brand deals, and people were sending them jewelry to kind of be in their videos, so I kind of knew that this could work out for me. Contradictory as it would sound, apart from being honest with you, I want to give you some tips and tricks I've learned on how to avoid yourself from coming in your own way, because you are all that can ever stop you from being your best self. Be it a creative or whoever want to be. You are your best and worst enemy, best friend and worst enemy. So for people who don't create because they are feeling uninspired or have creative blocks or things like that, here are a few things that I've done and had some success coming out of these blocks. Take a break. Sometimes the best thing you can do when you feel stuck is to step away from your work, take a little break, go for a walk, and simply just stop completely. Give your mind a rest, and when you come back, you have a renewed sense of motivation to do things. This is very basic, but it does help, just like completely separating yourself from what the continuous activity is. Seek inspiration. It's easy to say, but inspiration can come from anywhere. You can have it in books, art, nature, or by talking to other creators. Let your mind be open to ideas and perspectives. This can help you seek your work in new light and spark your creativity. I've written this just a little bit, but I want to elaborate on this a little bit. When you're trying to seek inspiration, you cannot try and seek inspiration that you feel is right for you. And this is a personal experience, right? Like if I'm reading a book and I'm like, okay, I want to be inspired by this book, you cannot come with your own ideas of how this book will inspire me. You have to literally completely let loose, and you have to absorb what the other person is trying to tell you. And that new perspective will grab hold of you, and it will give you some sort of inspiration, some sort of new perspective towards life that will help you do better or just remove your creative blocks. Set realistic goals. Set realistic goals, set realistic goals, set realistic goals. Setting realistic goals can help you break down a large project into manageable parts. It can also help you stay focused and motivated to achieve your goals. Celebrate small success and milestones along the way, and use these victories as fuel to keep going. Guys, big plans are great. Big plans are great, but not every time you can be like, you cannot think like, I'm Mughlai banaung, like I'm going to create Mughlai food. You can start a little bit. You can be like, okay, I'll start with the bread, then I'll go to lentils, then I'll go to this, then I'll go to, and eventually you do have a whole variety of things and you can work towards it. Small, and they don't weigh down on you also, a little bit. Experiment and take risks. Sometimes taking risks and experimenting with new ideas can lead to amazing results. Embrace the unknown and be willing to try out something new. It can be scary, but the reward of a breakthrough can be worth it. And this is the same mention of really trying to give up your ideas when you're trying to look for new ones. Collaborate. Working with other creatives can be an excellent way to break down creative blocks. Collaboration can bring fresh perspectives and ideas to the table, and it can help you learn new skills and techniques. Again, I'm going to elaborate on the collaborate. Recently, just 3 days ago, I started reading for this web series that I'm going to be doing eventually. And I work in Delhi, and this would be my first project that I would be doing. And when I was in Delhi, I used to sit at home and be like, I don't know what I should make. I don't know, everything I have to do myself, every angle I have to pick, and why am I picking these clothes? And it was a whole tornado in my head, and I felt like I would have to do so much more to get where these other people are. And these other people, I mean where I want to be, not like, in competition or anything. And here I was reading with these new people for the first time, who are all professionals in their craft, right? Who are in the media, who know their stuff. And when I was reading with them, I realized that everything was so easy. Like if I was being blocked by something, okay, how should I take this line? I did not have to do all the thinking. There were people who were as creative, who were as, as great as I was, or maybe just, they were different in their craft. They just could help me figure out. And I could take from them as well. So company, guys, the people you hang out with, the people you spend your time with, make sure that they are amazing, amazing people. and what you want to do. Like if you want to create content, be around creators. Right? If you want to make music, be around musicians. Don't sit in your room and be like, oh, I'm going to just like, I'm going to get inspired from somewhere, like something like is planned for me, fate is going to do this for me. It's not going to work out like that. It's one of the best things you can do is be around people. Even if you don't know anything, I promise something will come up. You can be like I don't know, whatever with creators. If you hang out long enough, you'll end up being a creator. And for the people who don't create, okay. Yeah, this was for the people who had creative blocks. And for the people that don't create because they strive for perfection, as an artist, I've experienced that people start out fine with passion and desire, but in the chase for perfection, they forget about the beauty of the creative process itself. And when we focus too much on perfection, we do get paralyzed by fear and doubt. The worry that your work won't be as good or enough for you or those around you, this starts a cycle of self-criticism and frustration, and it prevents you from fully exploring your creativity. The truth is, creativity and perfection are not the same thing. Creativity is about exploring new ideas, pushing boundaries, and taking risks. It is about allowing ourselves to make mistakes and learning from them. Creativity is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes chaotic, but it is also beautiful and liberating. Perfection, on the other hand, is about striving for flawlessness. It is about conforming to strict standards and seeking external validation. While perfection may have its place in certain aspects in life, it can be detrimental to the creative process. So embrace your creativity, trust your abilities and process, and allow your work to evolve. Taking risks and make mistakes. No one is watching you. No one is watching you. I promise no one is watching you. And I repeat these certain words because I tell these certain little sentences to myself when I'm there. Like literally when I'm here, like I said, I wanted to throw up, I wanted to cancel so many times. But I just tell myself, nobody's watching you. And it works out. And nobody is really. People are in their heads most of the time. They're trying to seek what they want from you. It's not about you. They're not judging you all the time. They're judging their own thoughts about you. So take risks, make mistakes, no one is watching you, stop living for others. And as the great Vincent van Gogh said, great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. So keep creating, keep exploring, and keep moving forward one step at a time. Also, I know I've been all over the place with the speech, but I never said I was done understanding life. I'm just here being honest with you. Thank you.